What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another video. And here I'll be going over how to go from closers to CEO, essentially starting and scaling your own sales agency to 50, 80, 100K a month. And I'm going to be doing a lot of detailed breakdown here. But before I do that, I want you to realize what the difference between a marketing agency and a sales agency is, because a lot of people don't understand the difference. So, a marketing process or marketing agency essentially is there to bring us leads, is there to bring businesses leads. So, you have a target audience, just market out there, and then you put an ad out: Facebook ad, YouTube ad, Google ad, VSLs, webinars, whatever. All that stuff is marketing. Then when someone interacts with that ad, they opt in, they give the email or phone number or anything like that. Now that prospect, it becomes a lead, right? This person who gave you their information, their name, address, phone number, email, whatever it might be, this person is now interested or showing interest in whatever you have to sell, products, services, whatever it might be. But that's essentially where marketing's job stops, right? Marketing is basically selling at scale. We're trying to bring in a lot of attention to our product or service. The next part is the sales process. And this is where a lot of businesses struggle. They'll get all these leads, but they can't get these leads to book an appointment or set an appointment, to book a call to talk to one of their sales reps, right? And I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of videos. If you're familiar with the high ticket space, you guys probably seen a bunch of ads nowadays that are going about, oh, we'll book you 30 appointments or 100 appointments in the next month, and so on and so forth. Is because these guys are trying to capitalize on what businesses are struggling with. Businesses struggle with the sales process, not the marketing process. There's so many SMMAs out there, so many marketing agencies out there. There's not nearly close enough sales agencies. Okay. So the sales process is basically you take that lead and turn it into cash, right? Close a deal. Excuse me. You take that lead, book a call with that lead, or set that lead on an appointment to the closer's calendar or sales rep's calendar, whatever it might be. There's different processes, but this is essentially an overview. And then that appointment shows up or doesn't show up, different metrics, and then they become a closed deal. At this point, there's actually cash, right? So, anyways, this is the difference between marketing agency, SMMAs, or whatever type of marketing agency, and this is what a sales agency does: control the sales process, takes qualified leads, turns them into actual cash. That's the only reason we all do marketing, we all do anything, we all run business. It's actual cash, actual money. So let me go and start breaking this down to you guys. This is phase 2 of 5, and this is if we begin working together. So, first thing is creating offer creation, right? As a sales agency, there's couple different models that you can have for yourself. There's not just one thing. So first, you have to figure out which gap you want to fulfill, which gap you want to cover, or you want to help businesses with. So the couple of ones are recruiting and placement. This is basically you're telling a business they struggle hiring sales reps, they struggle with recruiting sales reps and recruiting good sales talent, right? So you can just be a recruiting or placement agency. You can charge per salesperson. On average, right now in this industry, is about 2K to 5K per sales rep hired. So you can do that. Next is an outsourced sales team, where basically you're approaching a business. You tell them, look, or a business owner approaches you, tells you, I don't want to manage a sales team. I don't even want an in-house sales team. Whatever my total revenue generated is, you can keep X percentage, whatever that might be. You negotiate different deals and you just handle everything, the whole sales process. I'll bring you leads, you close them, we share a little bit of the revenue. Cool. Then you have fractional sales management. These are businesses that already have a sales team, but they cannot manage them. Okay. This this is more like it comes with base a salary. A lot of times they'll give you 50, 100K, 150K a year, plus a small percentage of the revenue you help the sales team generate. It's a smaller percentage because most of the stuff's already done for you. Then this is my favorite, and this is what I personally do in my sales agency, is sales process takeover. From lead to cash. I want to control the whole thing. I'll bring the reps in, I'll bring the closers, setters, SDRs, triagers, I'll bring everybody in, I'll automate the process for the business owner, all that stuff. This is what I like doing. It's more work, but you make more money, obviously. The ideal industry is going to come down to where you have the most experience as a salesperson. Okay. So if you're in, excuse me, if you've been selling, let's say, real estate, that is your ideal industry. If you've been selling, coaching services, that's your ideal industry. If you've been selling digital marketing, that's your industry. If you've been selling, whatever it might be, your ideal industry is going to come best from wherever you have the most experience. Whatever niche you've had the most experience in, that is going to be your ideal target because you already have the numbers to back it up, right? If you're already doing good in sales, you're making 10, 20, 30, 40K a month, and you've closed a couple hundred, a million or two, or whatever, 5 million in sales in a particular industry, you already have the numbers to back it up. So you already know the prospect in that industry, right? The next most important thing is you have to figure out which market vertical you want to go after, what size businesses you want to pursue. So ideally, again, we want to stay away from these. The 0 to 10K, they're startups. They're not um, they're just startups. There's a million of these that come and go. Then you have the 10 to 50K. Occasionally, you'll find unicorns in here. You'll find businesses that are doing 30, 40, 50K. They're ready to scale with the right help. But this has to be, again, the reason I say it's unicorn, because a lot of businesses will get here, but they won't get to anything past that because they don't have the right systems. They don't have the right sales process. They don't have the right marketing. They are not spending money on ads or whatever it might be. But occasionally you have unicorns here, and these guys will usually give you a bigger profit share. Next, you have 50 to 100K, right? These 50 to 100K, 100K to 500K, these are usually my go tos, right? They're closing in on 100K a month. They'll give you revenue almost similar to this, like revenue split almost similar to this. So they'll give you 7, 8, even 10% of their revenue to help them get to this level, right? You start getting 8% of 100, 200, 500K every single month. You can just see what you can do with 2, 3, 4, 5 clients, right? Same thing with these ones. These ones a little less susceptible to bringing an external person in to help them scale, but they'll still do it as well. This is where things start to fall off. These people usually want to work with someone who helped them get them from here to here to here, which is usually someone internal, someone they already have on their team. They're just going to promote them. These I don't even bother because these guys are, chances are, they're probably looking at exits at this point. All right. So this is first figuring out what offer you want to create and the gap. Okay. Your next step has to be the communication of your offer. Ideal market segment. Again, if you're doing solar, go solar. You're doing real estate, go real estate. Then you want to create a sales asset, which I'll get into as well. What exactly that is. This is a place where you nurture your prospects and your leads. And then you want to go over some leverage pricing, including with your past experience. So pricing usually goes anywhere from 10 to 15K a month plus a percentage retainer. That's my performance-based pricing. I think I have another video on that already. Go watch that video, different pricing breakdowns, and you can just use one of those pricings to plug in your sales agency. My favorite one is retainer plus performance. And you can build your first case study with the current company you're already selling for. So if you're on a company right now and they don't have a sales manager, they're doing 50 to 100 or even 100 to 500K a month, and you want to turn them into a client, that is going to be your best first case study, first client. Because again, for any of this to work, you have to be a top performer. The company cannot afford to lose you. All right. If you're not a top performer, if you're bottom of the barrel, sales agency shouldn't be something that you should be considering. You should first focus on getting good at sales. And after that point, once you've mastered sales, you feel like, then you should do sales agency. So if you're already on the top of the leaderboard, the business owner is not going to want to lose you. Now you can approach them of becoming a client. You can take over their entire sales process. How you take over their entire sales process is right here. So lead generation, there's two ways to do it. There's outbound teams and then there's paid ads, right? My opinion, for most businesses that want to scale and they want to scale fast, it's always going to be paid ads, right? You get a better, quicker return on your money. You get a quicker response from the market to see what's going to work, what isn't going to work, rather than outbound prospecting. Again, if you're strapped on cash or if the business owner is strapped on cash, you want to go this route. So outbound prospecting, really quick, we're going to do most optimal acquisition channel. So if it's a B2C business, they shouldn't be advertising on LinkedIn, right? If it's a B2B business, they have no business doing shout outs on Instagram, so on and so forth. It's not that one marketing works. All of the marketing works, right? I don't care if it's all these stuff, DM ads, shout outs, lead magnet, VSL, opt-ins, anything, right? They all work. It just comes down to your market. What are they most responsive to? And as well as your offer and your messaging, which we do here. And then you get a couple of setters to do the outbound for you. Again, if you decide to work with us, you can use our pool. We have thousands of setters and closers, or you can just go find them yourself, get two setters. What you want to do is, depending on the social media platform you use, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, um, you want to optimize their profiles, whatever profiles of the setters, they're going to be doing the outbound for you. And this is not counting the outbound dialing setters, but this is just random super cold. And you can help them optimize their profiles, and they can, they're going to be a reflection of your company. So you make sure their profiles are optimized, warm up their profiles. You cannot just go out and start sending cold DMs randomly, and the outreach starts. Ramp up the outreach between those two to 300 outreaches per day. All right. Probably going to have around 5 to 10% conversion rate on those people who are actually going to be responding, and people actually going to be engaging and interested in whatever you're selling. So 30 qualified leads a day, right? Our goal here is 5 to 15 leads per day, 30 qualified conversations. Okay. That's what just cold outbound, right? This is automatic, and your payment structure for these guys can be, you know, a price per call set. So you can pay them, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000 base, $50 per call, qualified call set, so on and so forth. Then you have paid ads, favorite. Assign you a funnel. This is if you work with us, or you can test different marketing out on your own for your sales agency. Again, like I said, all of this works. In the event you decide to go the route of just opt-ins and lead magnets, right? Actually, let me take this out. Right. If you just do lead magnets and opt-ins, then you should have, anytime someone drops their phone number, email, name, you need to have dialing setters, right? Triagers that within 5 minutes of this lead opting into your ad or your whatever is going to be reaching out to them, right? And within 5 minutes, after 5 minutes, I think the drop off rate is like 70 or 80%. And then again, our goal here, outreach starts every time we get leads in. If we get 10 leads in a day, you test a low budget, and then your different angles, your different creatives. I'll do another video on VSLs and doing market call outs and your ads and creatives and stuff like that. But you're going to test low budget and whatever angle, whatever market you're aiming at. And then our goal with paid ads is 5 to 30 leads per day, which should result in about 5 book calls a day, 1 to 5 book calls a day. Again, 1 to 3 book calls a day out of here. You can get a decent amount of book calls if you have both of these dialed in. Now, the moment you start having both of these dialed in, it doesn't happen overnight. It'll take you some time. Sometimes market testing, it can take you 2 weeks. Other times it can take you 6 to 8 weeks, and you have to have the money to spend for it. And again, this is not for if you're still struggling, living paycheck to paycheck, and you're still struggling in sales. This shouldn't be the approach for you, anyways. This, you should focus on at the minimum, start at $50 a day. Ideally, I would recommend $100 a day, so for you to get decent response. All right. Now, when you have the lead generation infrastructure set, then you start building out your sales assets. Remember that we talked about here, creating a sales asset, right? We want to be able to continuously nurture your audience, right? Once you have their attention, you never want to lose them. You never want to lose that attention. Why? Because it's very tough, especially in the online space, to get someone's attention. You never want to lose it. So you want to build a community in wherever. We can do it on YouTube, Reddit, Facebook groups, school communities, Discord communities, Slack, whatever. Have a community that's actually interested in whatever it is that you do. This is where we're going to continuously nurture them. You'd be surprised. I have clients coming in from 14 months ago. They started following me, and now all of a sudden, it's not even a sales call. They just message me like, yo, what are the percentage breakdowns? Send me an invoice. And that's it, because they've been getting nurtured for 14 months. Had I just stopped and just let them go, and I didn't have an asset to give them, it wouldn't have worked. Our goal here is to collect data, set up an email software, and then we'll also have growth specialists, part of the outbound team, that are reaching out to this community, these people, on a daily basis, and having conversations with them answering their questions, and obviously enticing them to jump on a call. And you send them to a market how to or a market insight. Just like this YouTube channel I set up is strictly for this, right? It's for this and this. I want to give away all the how to's of building a sales agency or getting good at sales and everything sales related in high ticket space, and everything I've done myself. I'm going to give all that away. And then select few I'm going to end up reaching out to me are going to end up reaching out to me to work with me on one on one. That being said, this is the reason I'm doing it, the how to. And the distribution, we're already doing this. We're already doing this. We're already doing this. This is something I was missing, which is now that we're doing it. So it depends on what your ideal target is, what your audience is. You have to, of course, distribute in all avenues possible. Next, once you have built this out for your sales agency, you want to have the right conversion mechanism, right? Once you have the leads coming in, this is the marketing side, right? Now we actually have the sales side. Once you have the leads coming in, you got to convert these, right? So you got to have the right management structure, systems, and call schedules, right? You got to have end of day reports. You have to, every single day, your team, whatever size team you have, should be reporting to you how many outbound calls they did, how many actual conversations they had, how many inbound conversations, how many triages, how many sales calls were booked on the calendar, how many showed up, how many were made an offer to, so on and so forth. You have to track every single day, every single metric, so you know where to put more money in marketing and where to subtract money if needed. And this is, again, this is the sales side of you is going to shine in this because you have to talk to the setters and closers, make sure they're hitting KPIs. Daily targets are being met consistently, because if they're not, you have to either have a conversation or get rid of them. And of course, and offer them incentives and bonuses and troubleshoot if needed. This is basically a fancy word of saying fire them. Then you have the sales team, right? You have to manage the sales team, your outbound team, as well as your inbound team. Again, you can go recruit these people from Indeed, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Same thing with your inbound team, recruit them. Or again, if you decide to work with us, it's all done for you. You can use our pool. They're all trained up in different settings. Some are trained for triages, SDRs, closers, setters, so on and so forth. And then you can either use our approach. My approach to sales is, you guys will see on the sales channel, it's a little bit more direct, a little bit less, um, it's more stoic, all right, or not stoic, Socratic way of selling. And you guys can look that term up. And you can either use a sales approach that's working for you already, or use our approach, which we'll break down to you. And you guys will see it on this video as well. Anyways, this is how you go about building a sales agency with between 3 to 5 clients. You should have no problem hitting 50, 80, 100K a month. If each client you can charge 10K a month plus, let's say 7% percentage of cash collected on a monthly basis, each client should bring you on the low end. If you're taking them from 50 to 100K, let's say 70% is collected. You get 7% of that. That's 15, 16K right there. Or if you take someone from 100 to 200K and 100K of that is cash collected, that's 10K plus 7,000. You have 17,000 a month coming from one client. And by the way, each client is only going to take up about an hour, maybe two of your day, right? So it's also going to come down to the fact how much you want to work, how much leverage you want to have in your life. Do you just want to work an hour, 2 hours a day in comparison to 8 to 10 hours a day when you're taking sales calls? Or do you want to just, continue working the same amount of time and hit the 100, 150K months as a sales agency, which you can. But again, anything past like 200, you're going to risk burnout. But yeah, so that's it right there. That's the breakdown. Hopefully you guys got some value out of this video. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments, reach out to me in any of my socials, and all the good stuff, like, subscribe, and comment. That's it for this one, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.